Just keep trying.
Well, thank you for being up early this morning. Welcome, Dexter Singleton, and welcome, Tenisi. How are y'all?
Hey, great to see you, Babs.
I,
Doing
I
well.
didn't know. I didn't know actor people got up this early.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes when we have to promote a show, only when we have to do that.
I'm excited about this Dexter, this play. I think because rarely do you see black men as caregivers, and this
Yes.
play seems to be. And I don't know anything about this play. I just know what I read and what I've seen y'all post on social media. But I'm reading from your site, Brokeology,
Yep.
November 13th through the 23rd, by Nathan Lewis Jackson, who is the playwright. And you're the director on this one, Dexter.
I am. Yeah, I'm back directing. Yep.
And it's a play that follows the King family, two brothers, who return home to care for their ailing father in a working class neighborhood of Kansas City, Kansas, which I know, I've been there, with humor and heart. The play explores the struggles of poverty, the pull between family duty and personal ambition, and the enduring themes of sacrifice, love, and hope. A poignant and beautifully crafted story. It celebrates the strength of familiar bonds and the human spirit. It's an hour and 50 minutes. So Dexter, how'd you pick this play? I want to know.
Well, it's been on our list for a couple of seasons. One we've been thinking about, and I read the play originally at least 5 or 6 years ago, if not longer. And so, I've been thinking a lot about it. And when I felt, like the usual thing with a lot of our plays, when we feel like the time is right, the right season or moment, then we go with it. And so so this one was no different. One of the most known productions of this play took place at Lincoln Center in 2009, when it had an off-Broadway run, and that was starring Wendell Pierce, who a lot,
Oh, he's a
well-known black actor.
consummate
Yeah,
actor.
yeah.
Yes.
He played William, the dad, in 2009 in the production. And so, along with, several other actors who were well known in the theater, but, he was the most known out of that cast. So it's been around a while. And then also Hartford Theater Works did it several seasons ago, many seasons ago. But it hasn't been done, I don't think, in Connecticut since then, or by any other group. But it does get some productions around the country every season.
I love that. So, Tenisi, what made you say yes to this? I know you're not the dad because you look way too young to be anybody's father.
Well, first off, it's always lovely to see you, Miss Babs.
It's lovely to see you.
Um, well, what made me want to do this play was the fact that I was a caregiver for my father before he passed away,
Oh,
and just knowing and understanding um, what that took, and the emotions that went into that, and the time that went into that. And I play a character named Ennis, who is the older brother.
mhm.
So no, I'm not the dad. Um,
Okay.
so being, me and my brother were caregivers with my mom for my dad, and the script, it was full of so much life, and I'm always looking for an opportunity to do material that is um, close to home and has a message, and CCT is just always on time with that. Like, I always talk to Dex about that. I'm like, man, how did you know to do this play right now?
I love it. So, Dexter, I'm a theater head. I love theater, but I also know that meaty roles like this for black men are hard to come by unless they're crouched in some stereotypical thing, or we're doing something that that's like dystopian or like allegory. But this doesn't seem like that. This seems nuanced and has some depth. Talk a little bit about about the nuances of this particular play and relates to black men.
Yeah. Like you said, it's a type of play that you rarely see. You know, black men as caretakers, black men where you have two sons and a single dad,
Mm,
who is raising them or has raised them for the majority of their lives, as young people. So you rarely see that in those bonds where men are able to openly express love and vulnerability around
mm,
one another. And
Right.
then, of course, like you said, takes it another level when you talk about it being black men. And so we've had a lot of discussions about that part of the play, and it's interesting because all of us, all of the men in the play and myself are all fathers, right? Eric is the other one who has children on the way, has twins on the way.
oh
Mhm.
wow.
Just a few months, and so but Terrence had, is a father. Tenisi's a father. I'm a father, and so we're already familiar with that, with that role of being black men as parents, and how to, love and care for our children in a way that is healthy.
Mm-hmm,
And I
mm-hmm.
think all of us, as being artists as well, are able to express that vulnerability in an honest way. And so we wanted to be able to show that with this play, right? Black men being vulnerable, black men caring for one another, black men expressing love. And then also with that, right, black men in the role of caretakers for their father, another man.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. And it was not a father who like left. Do you know what I mean? Like he's
Right.
very
Yeah, he's
you
been
know what I
there.
mean? Because that's always our stories, right?
Right.
Some absentee father kind of story, right? And they got to come
Oh
back
yeah.
together. They got to fight. They got to do all this kind of stuff. But this isn't that story.
Yes. Yeah, family that leads with love. And he's been there from the beginning, working hard, hasn't stepped out on the family, and has been there the whole time for his boys. And now the roles have shifted in the sense that now his sons have to take care of him and provide that love for him that he has done for them for so many years as children. And we're always very specific about that, Jenny and I, when we choose scripts, about how the black people in these shows are represented. Because there's tons of work out there, like you said, right? Work that's written by black people that still can sometimes show black folks in that negative light, that's particularly show family that aggressively fight with one another to the point where they completely fall out. But we always try to stay very aware of the fact that the representation of black people, and particularly choosing work when there's families, that we don't want to show families who completely fall out with one another, because folks can see that every day. And what if these families stick together, right? Even when they have differences, deep differences at times, right? That they still stick together, and family always comes first, and they always lead with love. And that
I like
doesn't make
that.
it any less complicated. Sometimes when you're leading with love and care and kindness, right, it makes it more complicated and more
Indeed.
dramatic. And that's what
Yes.
we're able to show with our work at CCT.
Tell me about the cast, because this is not a huge ensemble. I mean, you've got the very talented Terrence Riggins in this, who just came off a successful run in his own play, one man show, and who has done some work for you before. Has been in your other productions. So Tenisi and Dexter, tell me about this cast. Do y'all know each other outside of the theater world? Are you did you come together new for this? Talk
Well,
talk about that.
well, since we're on the fantastic Mr. Terrence Riggins, he and I had the opportunity to work with CCT together in the past, and we did Top Dog Underdog
Oh
together.
yes.
Yes, so that was my first time working with Terrence.
Yeah, and also, Eric Clinton is in this cast, who went to Southern. He was in a show with us years ago called Milk Like Sugar. And he since has had, success the last couple of years. Has done a lot of, many commercials,
Hmm.
big Super Bowl commercial with Lil Wayne and, some other folks and things. And also was on a show, Diara from Detroit, that a lot of people know, that's been sort of a, underground hit and for a lot
That's
of
such a cool
folks
show.
on BET. Yeah. And then Alexis Trice, who is, Connecticut actor, and but new. This is her CCT debut, playing the role of Sonia, the mom. And But as you know, right, Tenisi's done a bunch of roles for us. Tenisi and I have not only done a lot of work at Collective Consciousness together, but we've also worked on plays away from CCT and out of state. And he and I have had a long working relationship as actor director, and Tenisi's always been one of my favorite collaborators in my career.
That's so telling, because you could look at some directors and they have their muses. You know what I mean? Like they like Denzel and all the folks, all the big heavy hitters. They have people who is like, I only want to work with. I see this role for this person. If they're available, I want them. Is that the symbiotic relationship y'all have?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Tenisi's been somebody who I've been able to trust, and I know that when I cast him, that he's going to bring a certain quality, a certain amount of specificity. He is a wonderful actor, charming individual as well. Charismatic, and I love to be able to put actors in positions where they can have work, and they can have an opportunity in roles to be able to showcase their skills. And so I'm always looking for more opportunities for actors that I love to be able to work together, because that's the best, that's the best kind of work, is when you can have a room of actors who you really care for, within the work, but also, outside of the work. And I'm always trying to give him roles when I have an opportunity to give him something. I've tried to give him roles that challenge him, that's going to stretch him, and hopefully help him, improve as an artist.
Hmm.
And let's not forget Dexter. He, in my opinion, is one of the best directors that we have in the industry. And so anytime he calls and I'm available, I'm like, let's do it, and that's because outside of being a director, he's always been a resource who you can reach back out to. So, I've had workshops for some of my plays, and I was able to say, hey, Dex, can you, come in and help me with this? And can we work on this? And he's always open to collaboration. And that's very hard to find. So he's definitely also a what they like to call a actor's director. You know what I mean? He doesn't get in your way, but he helps you get in the way of progress. Without letting you stray off too far. So it's always been like Dex said, just a brotherhood. There we go, a brotherhood.
Yeah, true brotherhood. Yeah.
Dex, you don't always direct. Do you always direct? You don't always direct.
No, what do you mean in the sense of just? I mean, I'm also an actor as well.
That's what I. That's what I
Yeah,
know. So was it
and I've been in
difficult to
several
like? I
shows at
would direct
CCT.
this.
Yep.
Did you have to make a decision about, do I want to be in this or do I want to direct this?
Well, I think with this one, because I hadn't directed for CCT, it's been a couple of seasons since I've directed for CCT. The last full production that I did with CCT was Skeleton Crew, which was our last show during the pandemic. Right,
Hmm.
we performed it for 1 week, and then the pandemic hit, and
And I'm
then
glad I got to see it. I
yeah,
saw
that
it.
was
That
it.
was my
Yeah.
first CCT play.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one to see. Yeah, we only did 4 or 5 shows of that, and then we had to close the production. And then I had a touring show that I've been working on for a long time, collaborating with Austin Dean Ashford, who we did Black Book, that solo
Hmm.
piece that we did a couple seasons ago. But that was an ongoing piece that he and I have been working on and touring and traveling with for years. So this was since the pandemic, it's been 5 years. since I've directed for CCT. So I wanted to step back in that role in particular, because it had been a while. And I think I've done a couple shows for Collective Consciousness, and so certainly it's not the last. And I'll be back in a production at some point again, for Collective Consciousness. But this one I wanted to really step back into the director's role, and reestablish myself in that way in the community.
Tell me about this title, because the title, I don't know what to make of the title.
Yeah,
It's Brokeology. It's the study of being broke.
Well, okay, I think I thought that, but
yeah. And this is actually, Tenisi's character Ennis is the one who comes up with, with Brokeology, right? And with that theory. And so he's the one, his character is the one that's going to take us through it and explain it and talk about how to apply it.
Mm-hmm.
But, obviously Brokeology is something that a lot of folks can relate to, right? And especially nowadays where, you just don't have enough, right? And how do you, when you're broke, how do you stretch that money, right, to make it work for you and your family across all of your needs? And so, we know a lot of us, many times the majority of us, right, are ones who are having to apply Brokeology and figure out, how to make $1 out of 15 cents. Mm-hmm. And this is another one of those, types of plays where the characters are trying to apply that and just figure out when your money is short, how do you still get what you need?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so the play opens on the 13th and it runs through the 23rd.
Yep. Yeah. So we're doing 1 week less than we usually do. A lot of people have known us over the years for doing 3 weeks. But this show, because the holidays start the following week, right? It's Thanksgiving weekend. And so we didn't want to run through the Thanksgiving weekend. So we just shortened it to 2, but we still have our normal 10 performance run. And so we still have as many opportunities for people to see it, just in a shortened way over those 2 weeks. And so we have shows. We do it's a little bit different schedule because we offer more matinee performances. So we still have our Thursday Pay What You Can nights. We have our Friday evening performance. But on Saturdays, both Saturdays, we are going to have 2:00 matinees as well as 8 p.m. shows. So there'll be 2 shows on Saturdays, both Saturdays. And then on Sunday, and we usually in the past have done 1 Sunday matinee, and there's been some shows where we maybe have run 2, but we're going to have Sunday matinees on both Sundays as well. And so there'll be 5 shows, 5 performances each week of those 2 weeks for 10 performances total. And so that's 4 matinee performances at 2 p.m. and then 6 shows at 8 p.m. in the evening. And so we'll hope that, one of the requests has always been from our community, from our audiences is more matinees. And matinees have always done really well for us. And so we tried Saturday matinees many years ago, pre-pandemic, and they did pretty well with a couple productions, but we're bringing it back in hopes that that there's a need for it and that people really want to see those Saturday afternoon shows. And so we're hoping people come out to it over the course of the run. And it's a great piece, especially around the holiday season. And we know something that a lot of people can relate to in their homes. And we really hope folks come out because it's a great story to take a look at. And not only, you have drama, but it's also a very, very funny play. And Tenisi, provides a lot of that humor in his role in the play. And we know Tenisi is hilarious on stage and live. And so, it's got a great mix and something that I think folks will really have a great time at. And
you're still one of the few places that make theater tickets affordable. Like you still hold the line on that. Talk a little bit about that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. So tickets always affordable. We offer the the highest quality plays for often the lowest costs. Our adult tickets are $30. Our student tickets are $20. Both of those, some of the lowest you'll find, lower than, most events and community theaters with those prices. And then every Thursday, like I mentioned just a bit ago, is pay what you can. And we don't turn anyone away for inability or price levels for pay what you can. Pay what you can is available at the door. Only on Thursday nights, but if you want to get a ticket to make sure you get in, then you can buy one in advance online from our website. And so we want to give us opportunities, and we don't want cost to be an issue for anybody. And we've always stood firm with that since the beginning of our company. Is if you want to see our plays, you can see our plays no matter what you can afford.
And you're still in the same place, right? Are you still
in the same set? Still in the same place in Erector Square. We still have our studio, everybody knows, on the second floor. But just like we did for our last two productions, when we did Niceties, our last show, and then also Black Book, we've been partnering up with Rafael Ramos and Bregamos Community Theater and been presenting there. So we'll be presenting this play at Bregamos Community Theater on the first floor. And in their space that's a little bit bigger. It has a few more things than our space has, our studio space. And so we'll be doing it there for the 2 weekends and are ready to welcome everybody to Bregamos to see a Collective Consciousness Theater show.
And that's a good space. Like I like the Bregamos space. So that'll be really cool to sort of get over there and see this play. Well, it is so wonderful having you all. I'm so glad you got up early to talk to me about this wonderful play. I cannot wait to see it. I'm so excited for your cast, Dexter, and for you to come back to directing. So this would be really good. So tell the people one last thing before we head out, why they should see this play.
You should see this play because it is what's happening in the world right now. It's heartfelt. It's Black men in a positive light. It's the concept and the idea of Black family in a positive light.
Love it. Dexter?
Yeah, it's about, like Tenisi said, right? Family, love, sacrifice, and holding what's most important dear, and showing how family, no matter what, if you stick together through love, you can always handle any situation and persevere. And this is a family that, in spite of some differences, they don't give up on one another. They stick with each other through the end. And that's always a great message to be able to see, and especially to be reminded of that at the end of the year or the holiday season.
Yeah, that sounds like a good lead into the holiday season, considering all that we are facing in the country at the moment. It sounds like it'll give everybody a little uplift and a little bit of hope, and maybe hug your people a little closer, during these times. So.
Yeah, cherish your folks while you got them here, right? And
yes. Well, thank you all so much for getting up early.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Yeah, we always enjoy going on your show. It's one of our favorites, and so we always love talking with you. So thank you for having us.
It was my pleasure. I can't wait to see the play. I've been talking about it since I got the notice about it, and I will continue to talk about it and talk it up until everybody I know sees this play. So thank y'all, Dexter. Thank you, Tenisi. It's good to see y'all this morning.
Good to see y'all too. Thanks again, Babz.
Enjoy your weekend.
You too.
All right. Thank you, Harry Droz. And y'all have a good weekend, and I will see you all on Monday.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Thanks. All right. So make sure y'all get yourselves situated to go see Brokeology. It'll be here from the November 13th to the 23rd, running right up to the Thanksgiving. And give yourself the gift of good art and good theater. They're one of the best to do it, Collective Consciousness Theater. So get yourself situated. $30 is listen, you spend more for less. So thanks, Harry Droz. And I'll be back Monday morning. I've got guests next week, so it's publishing week. So I've got authors and the like coming on next week. And I think it'll be good. I'm kicking off the week with T. Williams, author of Rewind, Lessons from 50 Years of Activism. So he's going to be my first guest on Monday. And then Tuesday is Veterans Day. And on the Veterans Day, I've got she's not a veteran, but I got Ileana Naseshu, National Alliance Black Feminist. So she's coming on. On Wednesday, I've got Rafia Zavar, Domestic Cookbook. They're coming on. And Gracie from the Southern Connecticut State University Theater, she's coming on to talk about their production. And then Friday, to wrap it up, Deanna Lewis, author, Colored Insane. So that's about mental health of Black folks, I believe during slavery. I believe during enslavement. So anyway, so next week is authors galore, and then a theatrical production in there. So y'all have a good weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you so much. Have a good weekend. Enjoy it. Don't forget to get your ticket for Culturally Lit. That's coming up next Sunday. So do not miss it.